latest on Miles is more good news than bad news as far as, of course, we x-rayed him because that's what you do nowadays. You x-ray hangnails and bloody noses, but x-rays came back great, absolutely no problem. Swelling did go down a lot, which is encouraging. Probably won't know for another day, maybe even two, whether he can go. You know, he's tough enough that if he's healthy, he'll go. If he's not healthy, or there's any chances, of course, we're holding him back.
He's one of those guys that will bite his lip and lie to you to get on the court.
Yeah, that won't happen because I know him well enough, and I know how he moves, and I know what our trainers will say. And, you know, as we did last year, you know, we went an extra week with him last year just because it's not because of his future, and it's partly, but it's because of our future here. And we don't need to sustain an injury. I mean, it does put us, you know, with Kenny out and with Kyle out, it puts us short on the perimeter, really short, and that's disappointing. But it's funny, isn't it? How we always talk, and we have, you know, we're always worried about how I'm going to play everybody, and Shazam, you know, we got no problems, and now all of a sudden we got some problems. So we're going to have to adjust.
Tom, Josh said last night the guys were happy with the victory, but very unsatisfied with a lot of things about their game. So from your perspective, what do you need to see from these games out in Oregon to be satisfied coming out of this weekend?
Well, just because you're from Michigan, you don't have to get on your knees when you talk to me, but I would say that, you know, I'd say that in all honesty, that was true. We feel like watching film, you know, we're this far away, and as I told my players, from being really good right now, but as I told my players, they've got to do the things that are a choice. You know, there's no skill things that we got left. Setting better screens, coming off them stronger, you know, running a little harder, pushing the ball up a little bit better. You know, they're all things that are choices. The things that making a shot or this or that, those are skill level things. And right now the skill level isn't a problem. Guarding the three has been a problem, but I'll be honest with you, if you watch the games like I have to, we've had two teams that have hit some hellacious threes against us. That was a unique matchup last night with big guys that can shoot threes, and you know, it created a little bit of a problem for us. But I think we're making some progress. I'm just disappointed that you know, we're not healthy right now. We're not fully healthy, and it's going to create some issues for us. And DePaul brings some issues because there are a lot of 6'6" guys, 6'5" real athletic guys, and then 2 point guards that are jet quick like Tom. So that's going to create some problems for us. But I couldn't be more excited to play in this tournament. You know, I think for Phil Knight, this is going to be something that started out just a ho-hum deal. And as they saw what's happened and the way it's all gone, and I see some of the advertisements and what's going on, it's going to be a historic night for Phil. You know, to get all that many teams together in one spot is pretty awesome. And for, you know, for Mark Hollis to be very involved with it, who would have thunk, right? I mean, it's just anything that happens, he's involved with. And Nike and the job they've done, and for Phil, if you know Phil or if you read any of the books, you know, self-made guy, you know, started from scratch, and I love those kind of guys, and so it's an honor and a privilege to go out there and play in this tournament.
You've always talked about having an emphasis on learning how to win in a tournament type setting. I assume that's kind of still the same focus for something like this.
Oh, it is. You know, it really is. I mean, it's a tournament. It's a big tournament. We could play some great teams, and you know, the problem we have now is the first game is going to be just as good as any other game because they're playing a little better than they were. They're definitely a better team than they were last year, but they have some things that make it difficult for us, especially with our personnel right now.
Jaren said last night he's approaching this to try to develop a NCAA tournament mindset. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think Jaren has to, you know, we always talk about it, as you just said, tournaments. You know, you have to figure out how to win in tournaments and, you know, survive in advance, as they say. Well, this is one of those opportunities. Jaren should be pretty fresh since he didn't play last night, so he should be raring to go. He'll be fresh, and I think he was bummed out, but I think, yeah, just part of the process, you know, that I forget when you have key freshmen like last year, like we have this year, it's interesting, you know. I mean, it's a learning curve for me too, if I was to be honest about it, you know. I've had freshmen that have always played, but freshmen that are so key, that hasn't always been the case. And so it was a bad matchup without him in there, you know, because he could guard those more athletic 6'7" guys, and we didn't get a chance to do that. I mean, he really played about 6 minutes. I think it was 13, but you know, when you got foul trouble, you don't play half of them the same way.
Tom, if you don't have Miles, would you go Langford McQuaid, or have you figured that out yet?
Yeah, you know, you really look at it. No insult intended here, but I don't have a ton of options. You know, you can count the numbers of people that are left out there, and so yeah, we'd probably go with Langford and McQuaid, and there's nothing wrong with that in some ways, but it's the depth now that creates a problem of one guard to rotate in there.
Let's say they get into foul trouble, who becomes the third guy? That's probably becomes an issue, right?
Either you, or me, or Connor, one of the three.
I'm always on Connor.
Tom, ask you this every Thanksgiving.
A little bit. Go ahead.
What?
Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for this year?
I was thinking.
Thankful for having a kid like Miles, if I was to be honest with you, just because I think he's helped teach me a lot of things about life in general. You know, he's not the greatest kid in the world. He makes mistakes. He's not perfect. He's all those things. But, you know, you ask a guy to make sure when you come back you don't change. He didn't change his work ethic. He hasn't changed his attitude. So I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful, you know, still for all the people that take care of us the way the world's getting crazier. I'm thankful for all those people, and maybe most important, I guess, I'm thankful for my family. You know, it's a blessing to have a 91-year-old mother left and to have my family intact, healthy and happy. I guess I should be thankful for that. And probably last would be to realize what Tom says every day. You know, we should be thankful for every day, and we're not. We don't live that way. None of us do until you have something happen, then we all do. So thankful for that. I'd be real thankful for a football team win another game so they're 9-3, going from 3-9. That's pretty awesome.
Do you think Miles, what he went through last year, does that kind of help him this year in terms of a mindset, not getting down?
Yeah,
or
I don't think he's down. He's not down. He's just ticked off because I think he was, you know, he started to do the things that we needed to do. That dunk he had under here where he just got the rebound, he got more rebounds. I think we still come to a conclusion between him and I on some of those threes. I think he's shooting ones that are step backs and they shouldn't be. And, you know, so we'll get a little more straightened out, the inside out ones. But the rest of his game defensively, he actually did a very good job last night until he got hurt. So he just wants to, you know, keep it going, and yet, you know, he might as well learn how to deal with it, because I'm sure he'll have to deal with it a lot more later on whenever he's playing.
You guys go through Thanksgiving like this on the road all the time. I mean, how do you guys try to organize that for those guys to keep them in the spirit of the holiday?
Yeah, it's hard. You know, I think we got a decent amount of parents that are going out there, but it is hard, you know, because you don't want to be cold about it. But here we play on Thanksgiving night, you know, and then we play the next day. Can't do any shopping on Black Friday, you know, that kind of disappoints me, excites my wife, I guess, so that's good news. But I think in general, you know, we'll be thankful for what we have. We'll make sure that we speak about and appreciate the moment, but we also got a job to do, and that's the beauty of sports.
What do you think of Jaron's attitude and the way he kind of handled his first super tough game in college, really?
I thought he handled it good, and it was hard to get mad because he was out of there so quick he couldn't even get going, you know. But I think he learned a lot. And, you know, one thing about Jaron Jackson, he's a very, 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 very intelligent kid. And I doubt whether you'll see some of those same mistakes, like especially even at the end when we told him to give up a layup before. Well, he's probably never heard that in his life. You know, we were in a situation, Miles was out then, and we just didn't want to take any chances. And sure enough, he fouled the guy. You know, that's what I call a rookie mistake. And hopefully it'll get better.
The Ward-Tillman duo, I don't think we've seen that before yesterday. Is that have potential, you think?
I hadn't seen it before yesterday either. So what I was very impressed with was Tillman. You know, I was very impressed with Tillman. He was El Anaganye, as they call him, to the T. You know, he's just solid, did what he had to do. little better offensively, not quite as beastly as Al was, but you know, he rebounded well, he guarded pretty well, played with his head just as much as he did with his heart, and that was really impressed our staff.
With the two fast DePaul guards, any chance we maybe see more Cash and Tom?
Yeah, you're gonna. If Miles doesn't play, you're gonna see him all the time because you know, before guys rotate, and that's 30 minutes each if you have 4 of them. So that's a concern. But yeah, you know, that duo worked pretty good at times last night, especially when Cash is shooting it well and Tom can guard the world. So it works out to be a pretty good tandem. And when I said early in the year that I thought we'd play, we did a little bit more last night.
What's your relationship with Phil Knight like, and do you have any stories that kind of stick out from your time?
Well, you know, I've gotten to know Phil over the years, of course, and you know, this is my 17th year with him, and I've gone out there to speak a few times. I love Phil Knight because he's the All-American dream. You know, he's the guy that started, you know, with the shoes in the back of his car, if you read his book at all, and so in my mind, he started like I did. You know, he started like everybody else. You know, he went from rags to riches, and some people inherit things, and some people, you know, develop things. And he's one that developed, and he did it the hard way. He did it in almost an impossible way, and that's what's made. And he's pretty loyal to his people. That's what I really love about him. I love going out there. If you ever got to campus, if you get to go when you're out there, it's just a family atmosphere of togetherness. You know, they have so many things that I think are cool, and the way they treat their employees and everything. I'm just a huge Phil Knight fan, not only for what he does for us, just the way he is.
Coach, with the potential of playing 2